The only newscast in true high definition, broadcasting live from 12 studios. This is News 12 at noon.
Right now at noon, one person has died after an accident in Fannin County. All the details are coming up. And reaction to normalizing U.S. and Cuba relations is divided on Capitol Hill and across the nation. Plus, a U.S. official is blaming North Korea for the Sony Pictures hack that may be the most damaging cyber attack ever on an American business. Good afternoon, Texoma. Thanks for joining us for News 12 at noon. I'm Rita Kotey. We begin talking about the weather. A little bit of a rainy start today. Meteorologist Tom Miller is joining us now with a check of the forecast.
Yeah, it was dreary this morning with the fog and the drizzle, and we're looking at still some very low clouds across the area. As a matter of fact, if we take a look at our TMC tower cam, you can see visibility still are quite low as the base of that cloud sitting just about right on top of us. Rita, it's only 7 days away from Christmas, and that means not very many shopping days. And we have some days that we're going to have to put up with some rain, but also some fairly nice days. First of all, we have to put up with some drizzle, light showers today, some rain, maybe some isolated thunderstorms on Friday. But the weekend, we're going to see a break in the rain, so that'd be a good time to get out. But look at these visibilities down to 2.5 miles in some areas of Texoma. We'll have a complete look at our forecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Tom. New this afternoon, a Lone Grove man has died after he crashed his vehicle only 50 feet away from his home. Officials tell us that with Lone Grove police say the accident happened around 10:50 on Wednesday night. 36-year-old Jarrett Marshall was driving an SUV when he hit a tree, which then fell on the vehicle. Marshall was pinned when the car caught on fire, and officers say witnesses, including his wife, tried to get him out of the car in time, but with no success. Investigators say alcohol and speed could have played a role in that accident. 2 women were seriously hurt after a 2-vehicle accident in Murray County late last night. Troopers responded just before midnight about 4 miles north of Sulphur on US 177. They say 18-year-old Jaden Gray of Sulphur was traveling north when her vehicle collided with 21-year-old Kelsey Ann Cunningtubby of Ardmore, who was traveling south. Gray was trapped in her vehicle for about 40 minutes. Both women are listed in critical condition at OU Medical Center. We now know the name of a woman who died when the car she was riding in crashed near the Lamar County and Red River County line. Troopers say it happened around 2 o'clock Wednesday afternoon. The car was headed west on FM 195 when it went off the road and slammed into a tree. Troopers say passenger 87-year-old Mabel Christian was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver is listed in stable condition, while the back passenger is in critical condition at Paris Regional Medical Center. Troopers say they don't know why that car left the roadway. A Davis woman has died from injuries sustained in a crash earlier this month. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol says 79-year-old Mary Fox was pronounced dead on December 12th. Back on December 7th, she was driving a Buick on Highway 77, 2 miles north of Sulphur. Troopers say a medical issue caused her to drive off the road, where she struck a tree and a concrete culvert. She was flown to OU Medical Center after the accident and passed away. A Sherman man was killed and 3 others injured on Highway 82 yesterday. DPS says the driver of this BMW, 60-year-old Sean McCory, crossed the center line just west of Bonham, striking a Chevy Tahoe head-on. McCory was pronounced dead on arrival. 3 people in the Tahoe, 2 of them young children in car seats, were taken to TMC with minor injuries. An eyewitness we spoke to says he's not surprised this happened because this part of 82 is narrow and only 2 lanes.
Once they started this new 4-lane, they cut down the shoulder on the north side of the road, and we're coming from Bonham, coming west. A lot of vehicles have almost rear-ended us because they can't go around us.
TxDOT says construction to expand US 82 to 4 lanes, 2 in each direction, is underway. They expect the project to be finished in January and say it should make this stretch of road safer. Crime news this afternoon. 2 Denison men have been indicted on robbery charges for holding up the Shamrock gas station in Denison at gunpoint and loading a backpack with cigars. 19-year-old Antonio Dion Carr was found shortly after the incident in a nearby house in the early morning hours on Saturday. 17-year-old Cortland Bryce McPhail was located later that day at a local restaurant and charged with aggravated robbery, evading arrest, and possession of marijuana. Denison police say one of the guns used was stolen. Both guns have been recovered by Denison PD. CBS News has learned U.S. officials are linking North Korea to the massive cyber attack against Sony Pictures. Threats from the hackers forced the movie studio to cancel the release of the comedy The Interview, which spoofs the North Korean government. Omar Villafranca has more from Dallas.
Movie theaters took down posters for The Interview after Sony Pictures announced it is scrapping the release of the controversial film.
We're going to North Korea!
The James Franco-Seth Rogen film centers around an assassination plot to kill the leader of North Korea. But after threats surfaced of a 9/11 style attack on theaters showing the film, theater chains said they wouldn't show it. Finally, Sony bowed to pressure, releasing a statement saying, "In light of the decision by the majority of our exhibitors not to show the film, we have decided not to move forward."
I have never seen a studio just say, we are pulling the publicity, we are pulling the movie, no video on demand. It's as if The Interview never existed.
CBS News has learned federal investigators could soon blame North Korea for the cyber attack, which also included the leak of thousands of embarrassing company emails about A-list stars. But some hacking experts are skeptical.
That kind of information flowing at one time would have shut down North Korean internet completely. They don't have the infrastructure, they don't have the technical capabilities.
The Interview cost about $40 million, but insiders say the final total of the hack could run into the hundreds of millions of dollars, making it possibly the most damaging cyber attack ever on an American business. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Dallas.
Now to a developing story. President Obama's decision to overturn more than a half-decade of isolationism against Cuba has shocked many in Washington. Some support the president's plan, while others are vowing to fight it. Craig Boswell is at the White House with the political fallout from changes in U.S.-Cuban policies.
President Obama has given his orders. It's time to open the doors to Cuba.
We will end an outdated approach that for decades has failed to advance our interests, and instead, we will begin to normalize relations between our two countries.
The president has directed Secretary of State John Kerry to work on reestablishing diplomatic relations and eventually open a U.S. embassy in Havana.
We have diplomatic relations with other nations just as oppressive as Cuba. It's a way to talk. It's a way to make your point.
But some lawmakers say the U.S. should not be normalizing relations with a country they see as a brutal oppressor of its people.
The White House can decide any decision they want, but they have to come to Congress to try to fund it and implement it.
With Congress out of town, it's difficult to calculate support for the White House policy shift, and opinions are not falling along party lines. Some Democrats, including New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez, the son of Cuban immigrants, oppose the plan.
I think it stinks. I think it's wrong. I'm deeply disappointed in the president.
While some Republicans support it.
But I've always said if somebody is going to limit my travel, it should be a communist, not my own government.
Lawmakers return in January, and President Obama says he will work with the Republican-controlled Congress to end the embargo in place since 1961. Craig Boswell, CBS News, the White House.
Coming up on News 12 at noon, social media could play a role in your child's college application process. All the details after the break. But first, let's take a live look outside with the Tower Cam. Thanks for spending part of your lunch hour with us. We'll be right back.
The Dow opened sharply higher following the biggest one-day gain of the year on Wednesday. Ford is now expanding a recall over faulty Takata airbags to the entire United States at the request of the U.S. government. The previous recall involved just a few states with high humidity where the airbags are more likely to explode. The recall includes certain Mustangs and GT sports cars from 2005 to 2008. Fewer Americans filed for unemployment benefits last week, a good sign about the job market. The Labor Department says jobless claims last week dropped to their lowest level since October. This year has been the best for hiring in more than a decade. Americans say paying for health care is taking a toll on their budget. In a new CBS News and New York Times poll, 46% of people say paying for basic medical care is a hardship. 31% say they've gone without medical treatment because of the cost. And Dunkin' Donuts says it's been a challenging year with sales of packaged coffee slowing down. One bright spot for the coffee and donut chain, a newly introduced dessert hybrid, the croissant donut. Dunkin' says it's been so successful, they'll continue to sell the dessert next year. And that is your CBS Money Watch report. For more, follow me on Twitter at Jill Wagner, CBS. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jill Wagner.
Well, 'tis the season not only for the holidays, but for high school seniors across the country to mail in their college applications. With that anxiety comes a growing concern about whether students' social media posts can hinder their chances of getting into college. Adriana Diaz reports.
When 18-year-old Neha Hussein is on Twitter, she thinks twice before pressing tweet.
If you tweet one wrong thing, one tweet can go viral in seconds.
How was school today?
It was fine.
The high school senior is thinking about college. She's applied to 10 schools and knows that they can see what she puts online. And schools do look. Test prep company Kaplan surveyed 403 college admissions officers. 35% said they look at applicants' social media pages. That's up from just 9% 6 years ago.
More and more folks are looking, but interestingly, only 16% said they found something that might impact that student's application negatively.
So more colleges are watching students online, but they're seeing less that troubles them. Wes Wagner is the Dean of Admission at Dallas's Southern Methodist University.
Students are aware what they post on social media has an impact on something that's very important to them.
Have there been cases where what you see on someone's social media page tells you, well, maybe they're not the best fit for here?
Yes.
Neha, who applied to SMU, says she's not taking any chances.
You can never, ever be too careful, especially when it comes to college and the rest of your life.
Adriana Diaz, CBS News, Dallas.
The Oklahoma Department of Health is reporting 4 more deaths due to influenza in the state. The department says that 6 people have now died as a result of the flu during the season that began September 28th. Each person who died was 65 years old or older. 2 of the deaths were reported in Garfield County, with 1 in each county of Carter, Stevens, Oklahoma, and Payne counties. Nearly 140 people have been hospitalized due to the flu. Children are finding new ways to hide what they do on their cell phones from their parents by using secret apps. These apps have a seemingly innocent icon that disguises the app's true function as a messenger. Amarillo police say they uncovered graphic images of a teenager on the phone of a 48-year-old who reportedly used a similar app to talk to his victim. Madison Allowell has more.
By searching secret folder apps on your phone, you can find a variety of apps that pose as one thing but function as something entirely different.
We've seen everything from calculators, weather apps, recording apps, game apps, and it looks like it's an actual working app. But you can either put in a code or do a specific function, and it shows you the hidden data behind that app.
This app looks like a weather app, but if you open it up and enter a secret code, it is actually a messenger.
You can use it to send videos, pictures, and texts, which is exactly what the victim was doing, but she thought she was sending them to someone her own age.
Police say they were sent to this man instead. 48-year-old Kevin Kotey was booked into the Randall County Jail for possession of child pornography. Lieutenant Brown with the APD Crimes Against Persons Unit says she is seeing secret apps used more often to commit similar crimes.
And unfortunately, we're seeing these more and more, which is really why it's so important for parents to be involved with their children, know what's on the phone, and know what's happening with these apps.
That was Madison Allowell reporting. Let's check in now with meteorologist Tom Miller. Tom, we have a lot going on out there with rain, fog, and it's pretty cold,
Yeah,
too.
with just a few shopping days left, a lot of folks want to get out and not want to hassle with weather. I don't blame them, but rain is still in the forecast. But also we're looking at a fairly nice weekend for shopping, temperature-wise. Yeah, I think you're going to enjoy it, and we'll have a look at those numbers when we come back.
You're watching News 12 at noon with Rita Kotey. And from the Weather Authority, here's Tom Miller.
TMC Tower Cam that has been brought to you by Glen Polk Autoplex and Supercenter in Gainesville. Still showing some low clouds around the area. At least the visibility has increased, but we were down to just a few tenths of a mile earlier this morning with some very dense fog. And as you can see on our visibility map, Still around 5-mile visibility in Durant, Gainesville 4-mile visibility in Ardmore. Still, though, a little tough going in the Ada area at 2-mile visibility. And we're anywhere from 2.5 to 3-mile visibility in the Sherman-Denison area and about 5-mile visibility in Paris. So be aware that, again, we have that patchy fog and the fog and the drizzle that continues today. Not a very fun day, and it wasn't fun this morning with those cool temperatures as we dropped down to 38 degrees in Ardmore. 39 was low in Sherman-Denison, 38 in Durant, 37 was low in Paris, and we had 37 in Ada. Currently 43 in Sherman-Denison, 39 degrees in Ada, Ardmore at 41, Durant at 41 degrees, and winds out of the east-southeast, very light at about 3 to 5 miles per hour. So again, that's not allowing that fog to dissipate very quickly, is it? Well, we have 42 in Pauls Valley, 44 degrees in Marietta, 44 in Gainesville, 42 in Bonham, 41 in Hugo, and now currently 43 degrees in Paris. The highs yesterday, boy, did they struggle. Of course, we had the scattered showers and rainfall amounts anywhere from 1/4 inch to 3/4 inch of rainfall yesterday. Highs, though, 40 in Sherman-Denison, 39 in Ardmore. The low started out in the mid-30s. Normal low is around 33 with the normal high around 53 degrees. And Dr. Lang's allergen forecast still showing a low count in the weed, mold, and trees, that being mountain cedar. Well, the shower activity we had yesterday has moved well off to the northeast. It is weakening, but you can still see that snow, that area of snow from Missouri on into Illinois and Indiana. And there's a few breaks in the overcast just off to our southwest, and maybe 1 or 2 of you may see a peak of sunshine this afternoon, but the clouds will be back on the increase, and we expect later tonight and tomorrow morning this second upper-level system to move our way, giving us a chance of some rain. 37 in Denver, 40 in Albuquerque, a chilly 21 degrees in Bismarck. Kansas City below freezing at 31. Oklahoma City, though, at 42, 48. In Dallas, Fort Worth, Lexington, 31, New York City at about 42 degrees, 49 in Atlanta. And the jet stream shows that upper-level system digging through the area, and that'll kick off those scattered showers, maybe a thunder shower tomorrow, early morning, through the morning hour, and then ending early afternoon from west to east. And then after that, it looks like a little stabilized in the atmosphere. I'm not saying it'll be sunny all weekend long, but at least partly cloudy. There you can see that last little wave of energy moving across the area. And then the next wave moves on shore in the Pacific Northwest, and that'll pay us a visit. The tail end of it will on late Monday into Tuesday. So that said, overcast skies, maybe a little thinning out of the clouds, and then the clouds back on the increase with some scattered showers moving in late tonight, especially after midnight, and generally through the morning hour. The heaviest of the rain, though, will be to our south of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Believe it or not, winter solstice takes place in 3 days. That means winter officially begins this Sunday at 3 minutes after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Look at that high temperature, though, today, only 51 degrees, but that is about normal for this time of the year. 42 tonight, and again, chance of scattered showers late tonight, and we'll go with the 50% on Friday, a high of 48, so some chilly temperatures. 51 and partly cloudy Saturday, Sunday partly cloudy, 52, a low of 35. Partly cloudy Monday, slight chance of rain late, and as the next front that is moves through Tuesday, partly cloudy 55, and for New Year's Day, where am I going with that? Christmas Eve Day, sunshine and 54.
Many kids today have too many toys. This holiday season, consider these alternative gift ideas for the little ones in your life. First up, a zoo or park membership. Think of all the fun times you'll share all year round. Second, sponsor a child in need. Explain that some children around the world don't have access to clean water, nutritious food, or education, but you can help. Next, crafts. Depending on what your child likes, there are endless opportunities for creating projects you can work on together. Finally, a magazine subscription. There are a lot of fun, educational ones to choose from, and your child will love receiving them in the mail each month.
We love doing stories about people doing nice things. A man paid off layaways for more than 100 families that were about to expire. Craig Day has the story.
Everything from race cars to easy bake ovens and monster trucks to bears and dolls. You name it, families have picked out nice presents sure to bring a smile to a child's face on Christmas morning. But the layaways in all these items were only a matter of hours away from expiring without being paid off, until an anonymous donor stepped in to help.
I don't even know who it is, to tell you the truth.
Major Jim Taylor says in his 27 years as an officer with the Salvation Army, he's never seen anything like this.
And then you have someone step up and say, it's in my heart. It's just in my heart to do something special. I have the ability. I want to do something special. Can you help me do it?
The anonymous donor paid off the outstanding balances on layaways at the Walmart at Admiral and Memorial for dozens of families.
Think about it, 127 families with delinquent layaways. They were going to be canceled today if this guy hadn't stepped up.
The donor says he wants to help people who work hard to provide Christmas for their families and wants everyone to have a Merry Christmas. So on top of paying off the layaways, he also gave each of those 127 families a $100 gift card. The donor also told the Salvation Army to buy some toys for kids on the Angel Tree and add it to his tab.
Tulsa is one of the most philanthropic cities in the entire country.
So the Barbies and little lambs will end up in children's hands, thanks to an act of generosity that kept the scanners beeping at Walmart, kept the total going up and up and up, and will keep smiles on the faces of some lucky customers and children for quite some time.
People that come along and do something like this are just a blessing.
Now for a final check of the forecast.
Still not the best of afternoons. It looks like it'll be overcast, some fog and drizzle around the area, and temperatures warming to the lower 50s. We're expecting some rain, especially late tonight and tomorrow, but some sunshine, yeah, expected over the weekend.
Sounds good. Thanks, Tom. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope you have a great day.